So what would you say if I suggested that by doing what you do every single day, that you could also change the world for the better? Now, I realize that most of us, we come to these events for practical advice, right? So I kind of need to warn you about the next 15 minutes. Because this discussion is not about how to invest better. It's not about that. It's not about writing a book. It's not about credibility or how to hold the best event. It will, however, give you a single way to revolutionize your business at a time when our profession is struggling to retain its value in the eyes of its clients. So I want us to focus on one specific action that can take your practice to the next level. We need to change the conversation with our best clients to one that is infinitely more holistic and meaningful than most we hold today. So what do I mean by holistic? All-encompassing, complete, acknowledging that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Holistic medicine, right? Not just about the physical body, but about the complete person, psychologically, socially, spiritually. Likewise, holistic wealth management shouldn't just be about physical assets and goals, but about something deeper, more complete. And the starting of it is changing the conversation. Because as you do this, you're going to strengthen your relationships. You're going to grow your businesses exponentially, in fact. And it might just change the world in the process. In the mid-1990s, a financial genius and a technology wizard, they met over a card game, and despite a 26-year age gap, rather than getting lost in the strategy of the game, which could have been way too easy for these two, they began a conversation. And over the years, the conversations changed. So much so that in 2010, Bill Gates and Warren Buffett gave birth to the Giving Pledge. In it, they suggested that if their peers were to donate at least half of their net worth to charitable causes, the world would be changed for the better. Unlike, say, this guy. Now, some might argue that changing the world is just for billionaires, right? Yet, what might be possible with the millionaires? After all, the millionaire next door is on the rise. All 7 million of them across the United States, 16 million across the world. And more will be created with the transfer of $1 trillion per year, each and every year for the next 50, from one generation to the next. Yet here's the irony and the potential place for our biggest impact. Our best clients truly are wealthy in so many respects. Yet most don't think that they are. I mean, aren't many of our clients still worried that they can't both retire and prepare for other future contingencies? How many of your clients today still live out of a sense of scarcity and not abundance? To help them, to help us, maybe even do something great. My question to you is, are you prepared to engage in a different kind of conversation? One that is more holistic, one that goes beyond the typical financial agenda, and one with a fuller appreciation for the abundance that they have. One that acknowledges their values along with their valuables, their human capital not just their financial. Are you a Raymond James advisor missing perhaps a critical angle because your clients somehow get the impression from you that it's all about show me the money? You know, recall that wealth management didn't just occur, it evolved. In the 80s, the investment business, it was all about the hot product of the day. In the 90s, we ushered in financial planning, right? By 2000, we realized those fabulously thick financial plans were sitting on shelves collecting dust, and out of the ashes rose wealth management. Yet I wonder if the profession is still somehow missing the mark. Because beyond our financial conversations, do clients really think that we help them enough with their daily challenges? Do we really mitigate their true fears? Do we really help them accomplish their deepest desires? Aging, caring for parents, their children's ability to handle money, strained family relations, burning out on their jobs, the vacation they refuse to take, that hospital in Africa they really like to build, the business that they would like to fund, how they'd like to make a difference, the legacy today they'd like to start living, but they don't feel they can. A different and more holistic conversation would begin the process to address their true, total, complete needs from their point of view, not ours. Now, let me acknowledge that some of our clients, they don't seek this today, right? They just want to get higher returns and acceptable risk. Yet we as advisors could take a good lesson from history's greatest coaches. You know, those guys know how to use different techniques with different players, all in an effort to draw out their hidden potential, right? So we too need to be adept to draw out our clients' true desire and their hidden potential. And it all starts with a changed conversation, asking new questions which draw out their story. I was raised in the South, all over the South. Rarely did we go past the Mason-Dixon line. So Southern values and family traditions today shape how I make decisions. And whether you associate the South with, say, country music or fried chicken, or I know some of you in the back, the lack of indoor plumbing, or perhaps someone like my cousin here. Yes, there he is. One thing that Southerners do agree on is the power of storytelling. It helps us get to know what's really important about a person. So if you want to get to know your clients better, get to know their story. If you want to get to know that spouse who hates those boring financial meetings that we have, incorporate new questions to elicit her story, uncover her causes, her values, what she wants to teach her grandkids. So here are 3 questions, and don't bother writing these down because these are all in the practice intelligence area for your use. But here are 3 questions that I would submit are a great starting point. These elicit your client's values, ultimately part of your story. And it's these values which are getting lost as the generations pass and as the nuclear family becomes more geographically separated. So how could you, in your business, find and preserve those values? Pass them down as a legacy. Use them to connect to the future generations. And if the next generation was better in tune with some of these concepts, might they be more inclined to seek your advice when they need to deal with change? I mean, would you then be their most valuable link to abundance thinking? Might you change the quality of their life, how they care for one another, which initiatives they might support? We need to ask new questions like these if we are going to lead real transformational change. Especially after a challenging life experience, a different conversation might lead to more intentional changes with life and money. So by better understanding what's in their heart and not just what's in their wallet, we uncover more of their purpose and we understand more deeply what's really important to them. By asking different questions, you can deepen relationships. I mean, can you see how this type of advice through the years might change if you just started to change the conversation? How new services might emerge in your practices if you began with a changed conversation? You know, what we are capable of doing with our business as a platform is truly amazing. Every single day, we talk about life and money to some of the most motivated, get-it-done kind of people in the world. And if we broaden our discussions with these people, the ripple effect that they can have can be extraordinary. I mean, think what they could do. With new conversations, we need to be the advisors, talking less about retirement and more about the gift a child can give to their parents, quality of life, healthcare, living options. We need to be talking to them perhaps a little less about those fancy financial projections and more about affecting their children's future opportunities. Legacy probably should be a whole lot more about connecting grandparents and grandchildren, about cataloging and preserving those family stories, and a little less about check writing. It should probably be a lot more about a legacy vault, not just a financial vault. And as we have these more evolved conversations, my goodness, estate planning can finally be more about the living and not the dying. I mean, we can prepare executors and spouses in advance, not just settle the estate. And conversations can be more about finding new life instead of losing it. There are way too many options for clients to go it alone. And if we continue to restrict our understanding of what we do or limit the purpose of our profession, well, they may just go it alone. They may take their $50 trillion with them. When Bill and Warren first met, they actually did so reluctantly, yet they took a risk to have a conversation. And that conversation evolved into a vision that can change the quality of life for millions and breathe new life into the world. Under your breath, do you say you do the same? I mean, don't we breathe life into our clients every time we give comfort in darkness, hope in worry, or make a financial dream come true? The transformation starts with a changed conversation. You know, we can breathe such a unique spirit of blessing and confidence into our clients that they have more worth than the sum of their parts and more value than their commas and zeros. we can bring more passion and purpose to living. What a calling for you, for us. And with all of the clients and the decisions and the schedule pressures and the demands on your time, all you have to do to start is change the conversation. So change it. Thank you.